Hey there, Big Cash Crew. Eddie P back here with you once again. Thank you so much for those of you who tuned into last night's session. It was really cool getting in front of the camera with Richie. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done that. As it is a Thursday, I'm here to do an ICO review. Got a really interesting new ICO, which kind of blew my mind when I was reading about it today. But it's something that I think I should have seen coming, and it's pretty exciting. And a couple of cool little altcoins and see what's happening in the world of crypto that's already trading. Anyway, let's start the show. Excellent. So we're going to kick off the show today with an altcoin called Neblio. Cool. So with this one, guys and gals, the thing about this that really seems to be the most exciting is that the power of this is really in the hands of us as the individual. So with this blockchain, it seems to be open source software. And it's a way in which folks can go and use a lot of this technology for their own private applications. From what I was reading with the white paper today, it works with 8 different programming languages. So it's sort of like a baseline for folks to go and take what they've already built and sort of customize it in a way that'll suit them for their business needs. Aside from that, a little bit of the stuff was really technical and it was a bit over my head. I have been speaking to a buddy who is much more technical, especially in the world of crypto on this, and I'll probably bring another update on this one in a couple of weeks. I just want to wrap my head around it a bit more. But the way he explained it to me and what I was reading in this other blog post about it is that this seems to be the real future of what the blockchain is going to look like. Seems to be far more advanced than any of the current ones, especially the majors, and apparently it can sort of be extrapolated out further and faster than any of the current ones we have in the market. I do want to come back to you on some of the finer details, as I said, once I know a bit more about it. But one thing to always keep in mind, especially with these altcoins, is they present an interesting opportunity because they're high flyers, so they can be high flyers. And today, 49%. So that's a huge shift. Now, it has come down from around $60 a couple of months ago, but yeah, that's a huge shift. And when these altcoins do shift like that, we have to keep a close eye because it'll tell us, what may be moving in the next 24 hours. Excuse me. But also, if the altcoins are moving a certain way, then the major currencies or cryptocurrencies are moving a certain way, and vice versa. So it's really important that we keep our pulse on these things. Cool. Let's move on to Wax. Now, Wax is one I've actually covered before on the show, and one that I am actually really excited about. I think it's a really groovy little altcoin. The basic premise is it was built for and designed in a lot of ways by gamers, folks who play video games. But this is not a small community. I was reading about this a bit today, and obviously a few weeks ago when I covered this before. There are 400 million people worldwide who play online games on computers alone. So that doesn't include necessarily like Xbox or any of the other gaming systems, PlayStation, whatever. That's just computers. So, if you consider just 1% of that, that's still 4 million people. And if you had 4 million people on this blockchain, you could easily have a pretty large market cap, on this little thing. Now, the idea behind this, because it's essentially free to use this technology, at least at the moment, is that it will be used in the future for more things than just gaming, and there will be other uses. But yeah, we talked about this before on the previous episode, and essentially just think of it as a gaming platform. Now, what really caught my attention with it today is moved over 100%, and that's really crazy. And, in the previous episode when I talked about it, there's this thing where with something like this that's so unique, using the blockchain to buy and sell, different assets to do with video games. So if you're involved in one of those big open world games, it takes years and years to develop those characters, and sometimes they sell for tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're in one of those bigger games, that's not a joke. That could buy someone a home. So to have this on the blockchain is exciting, and I think it will keep growing, especially because the gaming community is quite large, and it has more and more people in it who are adults. The average age of the gamer is not 12. It's someone actually, I think the average age now is someone in their 30s. So I do think this has serious potential. I do think this one needs a lot more people on it, which you could say about any asset, especially any crypto. But I want to see that market cap really, really pump up before I probably put some of my dollars on it. Anyway, all that said, high flyer today, 100% turnaround. That's really good. And we're just going to see what happens over the next coming days, because I do think this one's going to be an interesting one for the future. Fantastic. So we will move on to today's ICO, which is an interesting one called Taylor. Now, this one really caught my eye today. On a lot of these rating agencies, we look for currencies that are rated over a 4, usually out of a 5-star rating, and this one wasn't quite 4. I think it was like 3.7, 3.8, depending on what site you were looking at. Even with that said, this one did catch my eye because it's something that's really unique that I have not seen yet in the world of crypto. Some of you already may know what a trading bot is. Basically, what a trading bot does is you set your parameters in the bot of when to trade, how to trade. It's almost like an AI. That's the best way to sort of think about it. And then, when you want to, you set it loose in the market and it will do the trading for you. And you can do this with stocks, you can do it with certainly Forex, and also with the world of crypto. It's something that you can go and purchase this software and then go and trade. Now, Taylor essentially works like a trading bot, just on the blockchain. So just a couple of bullet points about what it is and what they hope to accomplish. So point 1, like we said before, it essentially works like a trading bot. Basically, the way it works is once you set up, you will pick a currency or a crypto that you wish to trade. You then tell the software how much you want to make and also how much you're willing to lose. And then with that, it runs its algorithm and then it goes to work. This is how they say it's going to work. And that, in a lot of ways, is how a lot of these trading bots work. So that's not too dissimilar. But this one's on a blockchain, which is pretty interesting. And it's certainly interesting because, with a lot of these trading bots, larger firms had them and now individuals can buy them. But the idea of running it on a blockchain is interesting because now basically you can get millions of people all using the same software at the same time. And that is interesting. And I think that will help with the community. I mean, hopefully people will sort of share those details and share their victories and defeats. And if it does take, if it does take off, then I think that there will be a lot of emphasis on what happens within the community that are using this new ICO. That I think is going to make or break it. I do think that this is going to be very good for folks who are new to crypto, or particularly folks who are in crypto, who are not just new to crypto, but just new to trading. The guy or gal who's at the water cooler, they hear about Jim who bought 500 Bitcoin when it was 10 bucks each, and now he's got all kinds of cash and he's living in the Caymans, whatever. They hear about this person they want and they don't really know what to do. So for that person, there's going to be a great appeal. Now, this is going to sound like I'm completely flip-flopping on what I just said. It kind of scares me for those people as well. And that's one of the reasons why Richie and I do this and we take this job so seriously to speak to you folks out there, is because if you're investing in anything and you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to lose. So, one of my favorite investors and traders ever, it's a guy that I've learned a bit from especially his Forex trading. He always says the same thing over and over and over again. He says, there's no great mystery to becoming wealthy. All you have to do is spend less than you make and invest in businesses that you understand. And it's really important that you are investing in businesses that you can wrap your mind around. It's no good if you went and studied marine biology in university and then you decide to invest in a sock factory. Well, you don't know anything about making socks. And that's where this worries me a little bit, because I think that people will see it. I think at the beginning people probably have really great gains, but they may be experienced traders, or just might be lucky with the software. And then someone else will put their life savings and say, oh, it's a bot, it can't go wrong. But they don't really know what they're doing and they may lose. So that's where I get a bit worried about folks, because the attraction is people will do this if they don't know a lot about trading, but then that's kind of a double-edged sword, and that does concern me. Maybe that's why this crypto does not have a rating over 4, but we'll see. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. I will definitely be keeping an eye on it. I'd love to see what happens in its first sort of 120 to 180 days. It could go wildfire, like gangbusters, if the bot functionality, I should say, for this platform is effective. Then this could completely change the game. Everyone in the world will want a piece of this, because you kind of sit back and let it do what it does. On the other hand, if a bunch of people invest and it crashes and burns, they're not going to be too happy, because this isn't like other cryptos where, if you buy something like Bitcoin, well, that's really just stored value. In a lot of ways, you can sort of, so that's akin to buying gold. This one's not. This one you kind of expect to be working for you all the time. Some sort of like a machine, basically, or, a farm animal doing labor for you at all times. So yeah, if it is ineffective in the beginning, then I think it's going to be pretty short-lived lifespan for this ICO and then soon to be altcoin. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I always love being here. I'm really loving covering all the ICOs and the altcoins and just being on sort of the edge of all the new and exciting stuff in the crypto market. It's really exciting, and I hope you guys and gals are enjoying it too. Make sure you comment below, hit that notifications button and the alerts button as well, so you know when we're launching a new video. Get us on the Facebook and the Twitter. There's always a lot of movement over there, and the live streams start this Saturday, so that should be interesting. They'll be kicking off, if you're on the East Coast of the U.S., where we got a lot of folks over there, it's going to be at about 6 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, it's about 3 p.m. And yeah, I hope that people enjoy the show. Richie will be back tomorrow to discuss all things crypto. I will see you on Saturday with Richie when we bring you that first live session, and then I'll be back on Sunday for Eddie P's Forex Review. Until then, stay safe, stay well, happy trading. I hope to talk to you all soon. Y'all have a good evening. Bye-bye.